Hi guys, so today we'll be doing the Python Network 0 task, and this task would help us get familiar with HTTP request method, how to use them, and also how to use the call command which we have with our Linux, and the different options that come with them, and how we can utilize them and use them for our own gain. So back on that, so we have different so the tax has a huge number of quiz, so I'll just go through the quiz for you. I've already done the quiz, and then we can go to the tax and do it together. Okay, so in the HTML code, which HTTP verb will be used when you will submit this form? Because this is a form is either you're using put, or you're using really post to um submit something. But because this is, as you can see, the method is there already that they use put, so we just pick put. So it could be put, it could be post. Updates will be probably when you're updating whatever data, but probably it might still be stated there. But here we have the method to be put, and we just use put. So what is the call option to disable progression display? So for that is dash s, and you can see all these when you man call, okay, and then you can search for progression display, and then you see that it is associated with this dash s option. Let me just do I'm not sure if, let me just say progression display. Okay, let me see progression. I'm not sure if it's not found. Display should be found. Okay, or basically let me just go to the dash s option. That's dash s option. So if we check the dash s option, we should be able to see it's 5. So this is going to really take our time, so it's going to take your time, so just go through it. And I think I'm in pq, okay, dash s. So dash, if you look at it, it's capital letter s. So so show when dash s dash silence, global call, show error silence. So there's a particular dash s option that works with the Sabian progression display, which is just to make it silent, definitely, and basically because the progression display is being silent, is being disabled, right? So it's being silenced. So that's basically what that means. So if we look at this, it said in this URL, which is the path. So after we have the HTTP request, we have the host and the port, the host and the port, and then the next would be the path, which is this, right, which is what we have here. So it starts from here. Okay, so the status, what is the first digit of status code indicate a server error? Server error is always from 5. 2 is okay, 4 is error, client error, 1 is in progress, 3 is redirection, and 5 is server error. So in this code, the HTTP verb we use, so you can see this one, they specify post here, so we have post. And then in this one, it said how many parameters. So the parameter, this is the path, right, apply. So from this question mark, we have the parameter 1, which is batch, which is 89, and then we have the second one, which is sf, so which is 2. So when you are typing this link in your browser, which HTTP verb is used? It is a get request, because you're trying to get whatever is in this, the root of this address. So in the following URL, what's the host name? The host name is www.google.com. And also in the following URL, what's the name of the parameter on the string? In the string, this is the parameter and this is the value batch. Okay, the value is 89. So what is the call option to set a body key value parameter? So if we check the dash d option, I'm not sure if I would, let's see, dash d. dash d dash d option. Where is it? Where are you? Dash c dash d many dash d. So if you check that, you should be able to see, you'll be able to see it. About let me see, I'm trying to find it. Disable dash d. It's so far away. I'm not sure if I can find that there, but because I'm in a hurry. But anyway, that's just the answer and it worked. So the call option to set a body key value parameter. So we are setting the key value parameter. Okay, you use the dash d. So all this will be used in what we'll be doing next, and then we'll be seeing it. So what is the name of the HTTP response header used to define the size in bytes of the body of the response? It is content length. And also in the following URL, how many parameters? So if you count the parameters, we have the first parameter, and this is the first and then this is second parameter, right? And this is the third and the second and. This is the first and this is the first parameter, second parameter, and then this is the third parameter. Okay, so we have 3. And then number 12, what is the name of the HTTP request header used to send cookies from this? So this one is just cookie, and then this one is user agent, which HTTP request header indicates. Because we are time fast meant, let's just increase our speed. What is the name of HTTP response header used to define the formatting of the body? Content type. The call option to follow redirection is -L. That one is very known, and you should know that. So this one, what port number requested by the URL? So because HTTP is port 80 and AFP is port 548. Okay, and then we have HTTPS now. And what is the subdomain? Subdomain is this, the root domain, and the subdomain is what comes before the root domain, which is apply.dev. And what is the call option set to cookie with a value keeper? So for this one is -B. Remember that we have for parameter to be -D, right? Where is it? We had it somewhere to be -D. I don't want to waste our time. And for this key value pair is -B. So what is the status code for a parameter redirection? That's 301, permanent redirection, and 302 will be temporary. And then in the following URL, what's the subdomain, which is API, because we had it before. And when an HTTP response indicates a redirection, which location defines the URL it should be redirected to location? Also, which header defines, so the location header. So I just want you to know that. So this one, they specify the port the server is listening to, which is 8080. That's why it is 8080 here. But defaultly HTTP request, you listen to port 80. Okay, so so this one, since no port is specified, port 80 is used defaultly. And then this one, what is the path? The path will be v1 alt and new. And then this one, what is the status code for a web page that's not found to be 404 error? So the next one is content length. What is the name of the HTTP request header that defines the size on the message body? And what is the call option to save the body of the resulting response to a file? So if you want to save the response to a file, then we use the -O option to save to a file. And then what is the status code number for an invalid HTTP request? Server can't be understood. So if we have invalid HTTP requests, then it is 400. The server doesn't understand it. It's not like the server had error, like it's not like you got your commands right, you're the one that did nonsense. So it's a 400 error. What is the name of the HTTP response header used to define the status code of the response? So we have the status, and then the one that defines the HTTP method is -X, and then we have what is the protocol. It's stated here clearly, HTTP. And then for this one we have it as set cookie, and then in the following URL, what's the response part? The response part is still index.html, and then the call option to set an HTTP header to a specific value. The header to a value is -h, because that's like header. Okay, and then the last one, what is the name of the HTTP response header that defines a list of available HTTP? So we just use the allow response header, will give us all the HTTP request methods that are allowed. Okay, so basically that's it, and let's go to the tags for this particular project. So would be needing this man page very well. So let me just open an extra Ubuntu terminal and open the man page, and then we can be checking it whenever we need it. Okay, so I think that would make sense. So Ubuntu 22. I've double tapped it. I just hope it brings it up. Anyway, I want, because it's looking as if it wants to hang. So the first one is write a bash script. So I'll have to create my directory, right? Okay, it has opened, and okay, should I minimize it? Let me reduce this. Let me reduce it here and drop it here. Okay, there's a come down. So the first thing is I will have to create this directory, copy in my ALX higher level programming, and then I'll just say make directory. I'll make it and ls. So I have created a directory. I'll create a readme, so I can just echo whatever I had before into my. I like using double arrow because sometimes you might just make mistake and execute. You want to execute previous command, and then you execute the command that you are not supposed to, and then it overwrites it. Okay, so look at what did I just do. I didn't see these are one of the issues I was saying. Thank God I did double append. It would have just, if I got the readme very well, it would have just overwritten whatever readme I had before, and because I used double, it will just add to it. Okay, so that's why I like using double. So let me remove this readme. So I'll cd into this, and then yes, so I will echo the name into my readme.md. Okay, strong. I have that. So the next thing is I'm going to have my file, which is onebody.sh. So vi onebody.sh, and then let's start. So the first thing is it says write a bash script that takes in a URL, and what it takes in a URL. So we're going to call the URL, right, and displays the body of the response, and we just want to display the body. So basically, if let's create our script, we'll still do shebang. I think in this one we are told to use bin bash, as we're not told to make it portable. And then we have the comments. We need to do that. Display only the body of a 200 status code response. You have to use call. Please test your script in the sandbox using the web server port. So we're supposed to test it in the sandbox, but anyway, I'm not sure I'll be able to do that right now because I'm not probably using the sandbox. But anyway, what we'll do is display only body of a 200 response code. So please test your script in the sandbox. So please test your script in the sandbox provided. So it should be, if you look at it, they executed it and then they gave it the what's it called, the IP address and the what's it called, the port number, and then a route, the path to it. Okay, so we're going to write it that way, and then echo route. Okay, so let's see. So basically I'll just say call, right? And if you look at it, we were told that, oh, I'm doing number one already, so let me just exit that one. I'm supposed to do number 0. Copy. So VI this. So I'm supposed to do this one. The bash script that takes in a URL. So it's going to take in a URL, send a request. So it's accepting a URL, right? And then display the size of the body of the response. Okay, so let me copy this. So it's still going to be she bin/bash, right? Sorry, bin bash, and then I'll paste this, and then it says, so we're going to have call, and they said everything should be silenced, and remember that -s is for silence. Let me close this this quiz so that it can make it short, and then listen to the instructions. So you said a call command must have the option -s silence mode, right? And then all your first line must be bin bash, and then second line should be comment, right? What else? File should print 3. Bash should exactly 3 lines long, so it should be 3 lines. So let me just delete this, so it is now 3 lines. And then all scripts must be tested on Ubuntu 20.04. A readme MD file had the root. Yes, we had that. If you have a Python stuff there, it should be Python 3. Your code should follow Python down. All your modules should be commented, documented. All functions should be documented. All the documentation is not a simple word, it's a recent explaining. Okay, so good. So what we now need to do is, since we know all that, all we then need to do is the call has to be silenced first, and then it takes in a URL, sends a request to that URL. So we are sending a request to the URL it's going to be taken, which is, let's say this one is $1, which is the first request. It will take it and send request to it. This is like getting a get request, and then the size must be displayed in bytes. Okay, so we just need to display the size in bytes, and to do that we'll use the word count and -c option, right? It's going to, the -c option will help us count the request and then display the option, the request, the response in bytes. And I think with this, I'm not sure if this would work because we don't have anything is going to respond to. I think on Sandbox they have a server running, and then on port 5000. But anyway, let me change the mode first and see. 0 plus, sorry, okay, plus x for 0, yes, and then so if I should paste that, I'm not sure I would receive anything. Okay, we got 0, which means we didn't get anything, nothing was there. So if I should say back to the file, and what is our server IP? Let me just say our server is IP is www. or yes, let's try www.cryptotechcoder.deck, and the port is 80 actually, port 80. So we have hello world, right? So we still have 0. What's going on? I don't know. I'm just testing this. Okay, we still have 0. Anyway, let's check and see. Well, let's git add the readme, and then git commit message readme, and then let me git add the 0 and commit it, and say call and count the number of response bytes, and then let's push the 2. Hey, sorry. So let's test our code to see if it is working. Okay, you know what? Let us use another website instead of CryptoTechCoder. Let me use www.google.com. So this one worked. You see, we had something, right? Because I think CryptoTechCoder, probably the byte is too small because we only have hello world there. So let's try facebook.com. So we have something, right? So let's just try me.com. I think there should be a site called me.com. Okay, myface.com. You see, this MyFace website, I created it some years ago, but I think it got expired and someone got the domain. Alright, so yeah, so I think that's working, and let's ask for correction. So let's now go to the second one, which we were doing before. Okay, so we have to make it 3 lines, and then it has to have the dash silence. Hey, what did I just do? Redo. So it has to be silenced. That's edge has to be there. So write a bash script that takes in a URL as well. So it's taking in a URL. So it's taking in a URL $1, right? And sends a get request to the URL and displays the body of the response. So write a bash script that takes in. Okay, I think this is just it, but basically we just need to add some level of things to it. But anyway, let me see. Okay, if you look at it very well, it is route 1, but it is displaying route 2, that is, it can be redirected, but this option will not make it redirect. So this is what I will do. So I'll chmod 755 for this is to make it executable, and then let us run it, and then I'll give it to cryptotechcoder.deck. That's my website, right? It's saying hello world, right? But if we try to reach a page that doesn't work, it says this, right? So if we try to reach our redirect page, redirect_me, oh, it worked. Moved permanently, but it didn't redirect me, right? It didn't redirect me. So if I do this and add L to it, right, let's see. So it's redirecting now. It got to that page, it saw that it has been moved permanently, and it's getting me the this is all my it's redirected to the YouTube channel. As you can see, we have YouTube somewhere. I saw YouTube, so this would make it redirect. Okay, so I think that's majorly what we need for this. So let us git add one, git commit, and redirection with curl, and then we push it. So we'll have that as well and see if it works. So while that is loading, let's go to the next one, and let me just call it to delete. So vi the file, let's see, still checking. Okay, it has worked, so great. So write the bash script that sends a delete request now to the URL passed to the first argument and displays the body of the response. So it will send a delete and displays the body of the first response. Okay, so we're still going to use curl, and we just want to use find what we need to use to delete. Okay, so let me copy this and say shebang bin bash, and then would comment, and then now our command. So we'll say curl -x, and then we're going to pass our argument. So we have to have just one parameter. So now, how do we send a delete request? With it has to have write a bash that sends a delete request to the URL passed as the first argument and displays the body. So delete blah blah blah, a delete request. So it will send that. Please test your script in the soundbar. Okay, so to send the delete request, we have to use the -x option. So where is this stuff? Let me just use this one, and this one I can just say man curl, and then we just want to search for delete first to see. So we'll have example, we'll say curl -x and then delete, and then the website several times. So this is what we want to use to delete. So we'll go back here. Where are we going back to? Yeah, this place. So we'll have the -x here, and then we'll have the statement delete. Okay, so we want to send a delete request. I don't know if our request will be granted anyway, but let's try it for google.com. Let's see, plot 2. So we have our script, and then all we need to pass to it is the route. Let me just say google.com, right? So error 405, method not allowed. So we're not allowed to delete. So let us try it for our own website, which is cryptotechcoder.tech. Not allowed. So we're not allowed. So good. So Nginx helped us out. We're not allowed to delete like that. Delete request. Anyway, you have to use curl. So I think with this we're good. So we just git add this, git commit, and then we say delete request with curl. And then we'll push it. Oh, sorry, my git push hasn't worked, and I'm checking the code. it's not gonna work. Let me see, Control C. Why isn't hanging? Let me close. So it hasn't get pushed. I'm trying to interrupt it, but it's not interrupting. Anyway, so that's that on that. Yep. So we'll go to the next one while that is loading. We'll go to the next one, and this one is write a bash script that takes in URL, right, and display all HTTP method the server will accept. To do that, we'll use the allow. Remember, we have to use the allow, right? And then I think basically that's it, but we need to now display all the methods it's going to allow. Okay, this one is still loading. Control, what's going on? Okay, it's push. Okay, that's pushed, and let us check it. So while that is loading, it's gonna get this guy. So 3 method sh. So copy these and then I'll vi the name. Remember, shebang bin bash. Okay, so we'll have a comment right to the bash script that takes in a URL and display all the HTTP method and server will accept. So I'll copy this and paste this. So we need to use call, we use the need silenced, right? And then we need to paste in that is the first argument, right? So display HTTP methods the server we used. Okay, so to do this one, we'll need the let me see if this one has worked first. Okay, this one has worked and good. So now we're number 3. So we need to use the allowed method. So I think the -i is used here. Let's try -i. The next EFCD, EFGH, IJK. So it's going to be before this. Where is it? Next -i. C, B, C, D, E, F, I. Okay, so fetch the header only. So it's going to fetch the header featuring the call -i. So where is it? Okay, so if you use the -i option, we would be able to see trace and all that. So let's go back. So let us experiment and so let us say we want to curl -i and www dot cryptotechcoder.tech. Could not resolve host cryptotechcoder.tech. Why? Anyway, let's try www.facebook.com. Anyway, so the -i, look at what the -i did. Let me remove the -i and see. Call -s. It's not even giving me anything right now. Anyway, the -i made us see Okay, move permanently. Location Facebook, facebook.com. Display server connection keep alive. Okay, let's see. If we do facebook.com, the -i option, this is what we get, right? And then if we now pipe it with grep and allow, let me see. So we didn't get anything. What's wrong? We're supposed to get something. Let me see. Maybe because we're not using ALX sandbox, so that's why we might not be getting all these things. But let's see. Let me try google.com. Like what was even working before is not even working again. Okay, better. So Google even gave us more option. -i, there's supposed to be something called allow, right, which will show the allowed list, like all the things. Then if I grep allow, it's going to show me the list of everything. Then I can then cut the first two lines, which will give me all the options here. Okay, so that's what I wanted to do. Okay, so let me this guy, maybe I should pipe it into a file, search for the allow there, but I don't think I can see anything like allow. Let me see, call this and remove the -s first. It's still gonna be the same thing, but I'm looking for that, but I can't find it. But anyway, let me see. Which website will now give us that? Write a bash script that display all HTTP methods the server will accept. You have to use call. So basically the -i will help us see everything, right? So call -i, and if we do www.github.com, let me see. This is even saying move permanently, but what did we use? Google.com. Yeah, it gave us that. So we're supposed to have an allow, which will give us all the allowed guys. But anyway, so since we know what we would get, so let me just change the mode of this 755 for this, and then let me VI into it. So we're supposed to have the -i option, and then we'll grep it with allow. Okay, and then we'll cut it because the allow will have so many stuff, so we'll cut it and set the delimiter. It's going to be separated with a quotation like this, a space rather. So with a space, so we'll delimit it with a space and said it should give us from the second one. We don't want the rest, so it's going to start from the option head put right, and that's what we need to do. Then I will git add 3, git commit allowed options, and then I'll push it. So I hope it doesn't hang this time around. Okay, good. So we test it, and our code is up and running. So let's see if this works anyway. So that's our allowed. Okay, let's go to the next one while that one is running. So we need 4 header. Header will be -h. Remember the -h that we saw in the quiz to display header. So vi this guy, and then shebang bin bash, and then we'll say okay, it worked. Can you see? So write a bash script that takes in a URL as an argument. It will take in a URL as an argument, as we've been doing before, sent a get request to the URL, and displays the body of the response. So we want to display the body of the response. So if we say a header variable, so it's supposed to send a, so normally if we say call, we put the -s, and then we will say the this, right? So this one is supposed to fetch the data from the body, right? But now we have an header variable that must be sent, and this is the variable, and the value is 98 using call. So to do that, we just say -h, and then we put in the variable and the stuff in quotes. So we say the header variable is x school user ID, paste it, and then the parameter, what's it called, is 90. So you can see that in the man page of how this is done as well, and then that's and that is what we'll do. So if we test it, it's probably not going to work because there's nothing collecting arguments on our own website. So if I call, let me change the mode, 75544. Okay, so if I do this, definitely will not work. So it won't work. So if I change the stuff to our website, cryptotechcoder.tech, definitely shouldn't work. It just printed our hello world. It ignored the header, the stuff that's been passed to it, and it worked normally. So basically that's that. So we need to add it right up. So git add it, and git commit message be yup would be what request header with parameter and then we can push it. So we can push it up, it works in time, and we check our code and see. So that's that, and then we'll move to the next one. So while that is loading, let's go to the next one. So 5 post param.sh. So it still has to be 3 lines of code. I put that, I put my shebang, I put my bin bash, and then I'll put my comment, and we are halfway done once I do that. Okay, so this one has worked, and congratulations. So write a bash script that takes in a URL and send a post request to the past URL and display the body. So it's just like what we did before, but now it's sending a post request instead of the header request. So we still have to say call -silence, and then for post request we'll say using the header we are sending a post request and then -d. Okay, and we'll pass in the request, and also we are going to have our $1 for our host name. So here would now be the request, right? So we are going to have a variable email, and it's going to be tests@gmail.com. So for post it is different. So where is it? So for post, it instead of it to be the first one, I think it is colon based, right? But this one would now be we'll use the equator base, and then it will be test at gmail, right, .com, and then we test at gmail.com. So we'll now use the and that we saw before, and because we're getting other ones, and then this one will be subject will now be equals to will always be here for PLD, even though I don't think I attend PLDs, and I think that's all. So we don't need to check that, so let's just check it and see if it works. So we could add 5 and with commit message 5 and with push. So we'll do all that, we will push it, and then that's all. And sorry, Control C, ls. So we have that, and what next are we going to do? I'm going to check my code and see if it works. So this one is technical interview question. Let's see if that works. So it works, and ask for correction. So find a peak. You are not allowed to Google anything, right? But we write a function that finds a peak in a list of unsorted integers. We need to find a peak in a list of unsorted integers. You can test with this. So it's going to copy this, and our vi 6 main.py. So it's going to test the function of the peak. This didn't really undo it well, so I'm going to quit it, and then I'll use Emacs instead. Emacs paste is better. Oh, I'm not sure I have Emacs installed, and it's going to take my time installing it. So let me just exit it and just use vi like that, or apt-get install Emacs. I'm sure this is not the right word to use to install Emacs though, but wait, is it installing? Emacs actually take time, so I don't want to just waste our time on that. Emacs used to take time. Okay, let me see if it won't take time just now. It used to take time to load because it's a very powerful tool. I don't know why people run away from it anyway. Okay, it's asking me. I'm supposed to use the -y option though. That's the advantage of using that. So that have answered that for me and continue. So let's be seeing what we're doing, and let's continue. So I'll cd move cd into my ALX IL level, and cd into what's the repo name for this. Oh, okay, we still have 3 advanced, so let me open the advanced and let's do this one as well. So let's see into OX10. Yes, so we're there. Yes, so now we want to create okay, so vi6 main.py, right? Now so this one will reload it. So this one is doing its own, that one is doing its own. So let's just wait a bit. So where is it? Move up. Where is it? Move up. move to the end. Okay, good. So this one is called 6 main.py. Okay, good. Come here, come to this guy, vi 6 main.py, and then I'll paste this guy. I think this one actually pasted well. Anyway, I would exit it, and yes, so we have our 6 main.py. I can make it executable 6 main.py, sorry, 755 6 main.py. If I run it now, we don't have anything, so it's not going to run. So let's quit it. It's gonna run. Okay, so so this is where we're working right now. So for this one, for this one, we have to find a peak in a list. So if you look at this list, the peak here is 6, right? You would think it's the highest, but basically it's not the highest, because in this one the peak became 3, not 4, and in this one the peak, I'm looking at the answers from here when it's been executed, the peak here is definitely going to be 2, and this one, because nothing is there, it says none, and then this one it says 2, and then this one it says 4, right? So I think what it does is that it looks the answer at the left and at the right and see if it is a peak, right? So if you look at the answer at the left here, this one is greater than it. If you look at the answer at the right here, but this one is 6 is greater than 3 is greater than 4, so that's why. So if you look at 2, 1 is less than 2, but 4 is greater than it. If you look at 1, what is here is not, but 2 is greater than it. If you look at 4, 6 is greater than it, but 2 is greater, but it's only 6 that the left and right are less than it. So we look at what's the left and right, and here 4, I think, because it's the first one here right by the left, so I don't know, I think that's why it's not being counted. So 2, 4 is greater than this, 4 is greater than 2, 1 is greater than this, 2 here, and it's only 3 here, 2 is less than and 1 is less than. This one 2 definitely. This one is going to be 2 because 2 is this, and then this one is going to be 3 or 4. So this one is actually 4. So if this one is 4, I'm trying to see why this one is not 4. You see that Emacs is still installing. Emacs actually takes time to install. Anyway, let me see why is this one 4, not 4. Okay, okay, so maybe based on this we might be able to get the answer. Write a function that finds a peak in a list of unsorted integers. You can see the integers are unsorted. This is the protocol, the prototype rather, and then you are not allowed to import any module. So we are not allowed to import any module to help us. Your algorithm must have the lowest complexity. You don't have to go through all members to find a peak. So that's one. I think they just go through the first one. So these 3 might also be a peak, but they went for this one. This 4 can also be a peak, but they went for this one. But let's see. Syspeak.py must contain the function, and then this one must contain the complexity of your algorithm. Either of these 1, 2, 3, 4. So there may be more than one peak in the list, like we said. So they picked the first one. So anyone they use. So this one, it means we are actually correct from what I explained to you. Okay. So that's that. Why is this one lost? Okay, so we have this, and so first I had my algorithm, and for the algorithm I'll be using since this one will contain the time complexity, I will just say pi this, and then I would say the time complexity of the algorithm I'll be using would be a big O of log n. So I'll use this because sometimes the O n used to cause issues, so it's going to be big O of log n, this one. I'll copy it and then I'll paste it here. So that's that, and I think we're good. So let me git add that 6 z text 6 let me see, okay, 6 peak as well, but the txt. Okay, good. So git commit, so I'll say it is the time complexity for my algorithm, right? Okay, so I've added that. So the last one is let me just add this 6 main, and sorry, I'm supposed to say git add. So can you see Emacs is still actually loading? Let me just, I think, interrupt this guy over here. Because probably in the future we might need it. So let's git add it and git commit, say to test. It's not needed to actually, hey, mistake, git commit to test. It's not needed to actually push this one. So we have all that. So the last thing is going to be this 6 main.py. Okay, so let me touch it, and 7556 peak dot py and vi it. So we have all that. So the next thing is I'm going to write my it's going to be Python, so shebang user binary Python 3, and then we're going to write about it, what we are doing. So a function that find a peak in an, this is what I used to write though. Sorry, it's too short. See, Emacs is still anyway. Just for us to be on the safer side. 1, 2, 3, good. So we have that, and then what is our prototype? We'll place in our prototype. And then I'll just say this function to find the peak, with the shortest algorithm. So I hope that is settled. So the first thing is if the parameter I'm passing is empty, then it should just return none, because that's what we had in one of the examples that has been created here, where this one is. So if list of integers is is equals to this, if it is this, then you should return none. It It's been long I called in Python there. Oh shit, I almost lost the syntax there. So the next thing I will say is we need to get the length of the what's it called, of the integers, so we can know how many times we want to loop. So we'll say size equals to the length of list of integers, right? So we get that. So if the size is 0, so it still parts to what I did before. We could also do it this way. A mistake. Then it should return none. Okay, so else if the size is equals to 1, you should return list of integers 0. So if the size is 1, then that is if there's just one parameter, then we want to just return that particular one as the peak. So if it is 1, then we'd say it should return list of integers at index 0, which is going to be the first index, that's the first thing inside. So if it is 2, then we should just find the maximum, because the maximum as at when it is 2 will be the peak, right? So else if the size is 2, right, we want to return the maximum for list of integers. Okay, and that's fine. So now let us find a way to make our algorithm shorter. So I'll find the middle, and the middle will now be an int of the size divided by 2. Okay, and our peak would now be equals to list of integers at the middle. So we have the peak, we created our own peak to be the middle number, right? So we created that. So I'll say I have a list, my list. I'll call it, to save the list, to make it short, list of integers. So makes that short, and then I'll say if the peak, so I'll start from the middle and then compare to make it shorter. So I'll say if the list is greater than my list, because I don't want to be saying list of integers, so it's greater than the list of integers at the middle minus 1, that is, I'm saying we should go down left 1, right? So if the middle is 5, minus 1 before, so to check what is on minus 4, if it is greater than it, and the peak is still greater than what is after it. If the peak is greater than my list at the middle plus 1, then the peak return. So we just need one person, right? One person to be greater than left or and right. So if that is it, then it should return peak, right? If not, so we are starting from the middle now. Else if, right, the peak now is now less than my list, is less than my list because I've shortened that guy as the middle minus 1. So if it is less than what is now by the left, and it means that it is probably greater than it. So if this is the middle, right, and it is less than, so I was saying this one, so if this one, if it is less than this and this, it means that this one would probably be the greatest. So then we can use recursion to do this, to iterate through it. Then we use recursion to do this part to find the, hey, I hope this thing doesn't, and okay, good. Okay, so if that's the case, then you should return find peak. You should return find peak and then my list, which is the new guy, and then backward. So my list at from beginning to the middle, okay, and then else if it doesn't find it there, then you should use it from the middle to the end. So return find peak my list from the middle plus 1, because we've done for the middle, to the end. Okay, so I think that's it. So it is, oh, my C, it didn't work. CH motel 556 peak. Okay, no, it worked. 6 main. So let us see. So we have 632 none. So here we have 2 4 2, but here is 2 3. So let's see if 3 is also a peak. So I think it's working. So let us see. We add 6 peak. I think that's the only one I need to add. Okay, to commit the function that finds a peak in Python. So let us test our code to see if it is working. So we still have 3 more to go, and we're still on it. So while that is still loading, let's go to the next one, which is 100 status code. I think this is still part of what we were doing before using call. So we have our shebang bin bash, and then we'll have this guy over here. Write a bash script that sends a request to URL passed as an argument and displays only the status code and response. So I'll copy this, paste it, and now you are not allowed to use any pipe redirection. You're not allowed to use these and these. You have to use call. So we'll say call and use -s option, and then a bash script that sends a request to a URL passed as an argument. So a URL is passed as an argument, so we'll have that as 1. and then now sends a request to Eureka and display only the status codes of the response. So we need to display only status code, and there's a guy passed which is dash o. So dash o is saying that we should um put the output in a file. So I can put the output in a file called dev null. This dev null allow us to put something in this file, like I think after once we restart, the data in it, they go off. So and then we want to get from it what the status code. So we want to get, so I'll say percentage http underscore code. So we want to get this. Okay, so chmod 75500. So if I do 100 and I do the crypto tech coda dot tech, okay, we didn't actually get anything. Okay, we got it. You see, we got 200 here, right? So yeah, so that's it. And if I cut my dev null, we didn't really get anything. I think everything is disappeared already. All right, so basically that's it. Let's git add 100 git commits http status code and git push. So while that is loading, let us check this one. I'm very sure we will see an error. There is one error there. So this error simply, I think it's like bytecode style. Let me see. Flake 8 pip install. I don't even know if I have pip. So let me say apt get install. Oh, Flake 8. So I think our Emacs is ready, and where's my short body? Where is it? I don't know if Flake 8 is installed already. Yes, I'm supposed to put the dash y. So I think that's the problem with this. But anyway, while that is loading, let me git. Okay, I think we've git pushed this one. So let us check it, or let me check. Okay, we might have pushed this one. Flake 8 is not installed yet, so it's not installed yet. Okay, it's not installed yet. So this one has worked, and I think bytecode style works with it as well. 6 peak dot. Why is this one hanging? .py. The bytecode style works as well. But anyway, we have so many guys here. Flake 8 is still installing. This this one is still checking. So let's just go to the next one, and while all these guys are still installing, let's see what we can do. Should I interrupt this guy? I think there's a guy here that interrupts them. So we are supposed to use apt installed bytecode style. So apt install bytecode style. So we don't have apt installed, right? Apt install bytecode style. Yes, now. Let me copy it and paste it. Can you be fast? We have a long way to go. We still have 2 more. So this one is 101. Paste this, copy it. Okay, I think we have that. So bytecode style. Let's pick the py. Maybe, yeah. So 2 blank line expected found one. So we are into 6 pick dot py. Yes, we are supposed to have 2 here. So 0 and let's git add 6 git commit bytecode style. So let us check it again. So while that one is loading, it's loading. Let's check number 8. That's for correction. 101. So I'll vi 101. Sorry, vi 101. Write bin bash and my comments. A bash script that sends a JSON post request to a blah 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 blah. So a bash script that sends a JSON post request to a URL pass as the first argument and display the body of the response. So we now want to send a JSON request now to it. So we use call to send JSON. So to do that, we'll still use s, we use the -h, or we can add it together. And then for JSON data, though, we need to put this as our $1. Yes, now for JSON now we then put it. So what will the content be? The script send a post request with the content of the file passed with the file name as the second argument of the script. In the body of the script you have okay. So it's going to collect the okay, write the script. Okay, so what we're saying is basically first because we want it to say the content, this one is defaultly, we say content type. Remember we saw that before, and we say the header content type is application/JSON. Okay, so once we do this, and then we use the -d option to add that a post request. So a post request with -d option, and we said it should be a I would say $. Okay, so we are trying to execute whatever it's in here, and we will say it should cat command 2 because the argument will be passed, the file name will be passed. So if file name is passed and it has cat whatever is inside the file name, and this one will expand it, and then -d can get the command and then execute this guy. So I think this is what we do for this one, but we need to make it on the 3rd line, and also
changes. So chmod 755.101 and then git add 101, git commit, and then I'll say send JSON request, and then I'll push it. Hey, sorry, git, where's that git commit? So git commit and git push. So we have that, and then we can check the code to see if it's correct. While that is loading, let's go back to the Python and see if it worked. So it's not working yet though. It's working, right? Is this an error or a pass? Because I don't know. What is that, an error? Okay, so we have one more to go though. Let's check that again. Let's check this one is working already, and I think we're in the last one now. 1 or 2, catch me. Good. So since we are in the last one, I think the last one will be crazy, but anyway, shebang bin /bash. Okay, and then we have our write a bash script that makes a request to this, and let's just copy all this. Everything will still align, so we'll still call. So the request is going to, we are still going to have our -s, and the request is going to this. The request is going to this, and so we don't need to, we have destination already now. So the next thing is we have to make room for redirection. Okay, and -x. So a bash that make a request to this that causes the server to respond with a message containing "you got me" in the body of the response. You have to use call, you do not have to use this. So we have -x, and then we can say put request -h. So the header would go with that's have an origin, and that should I send a request that causes the override response with the message "you got me." Okay, let's see. Let me even first see if that one has worked, because what I have here, what's now wrong with this guy? Let me ask for correction. Is it that this one is not working? Efficiency failed. It's not so efficient, or is that what you're saying? Let's just see. So we're supposed to get 50 here. So if you're doing it first deadline, you're supposed to get 100. So let's see where the error is coming from now. So for this one, I think what we'll do is we'll say origin should be Alberton School, and then we'll have the -d, which will be the user. This one I got it from through searching online and all that. So I think that's it. So we have an origin and then a user ID, which has been passed. Anyway, so I think that's how this one was solved. Well, let's see. So you can try without the origin. So I don't want to waste our time. That's why I didn't try it first. So chmod +x, because I think we still need to battle with this guy. ch +x 102, I guess, and then git add 102, git commit, catch me, git push. So so what does this one cause? Oh, it's like middle. So let's see what the issue is. Okay, efficiency, complexity should be the lowest. Okay, so I think he's saying that it's not too efficient enough. So no, don't worry, we'll go back to that and let's check this and see. So if this one works, we go back to it and see what we are missing. And if nothing is done, okay, this one worked. I don't even know how this particular part work, but let's see. So you're not allowed to Google anything, blah, 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 blah. So big O log n, right? So cat 6 peak txt big array. So let us via our 6 peak.py. So we said that it should find peak, and then if list of integer is this, it should return on size is length. So we did for 0, we did for 1, we did for 2, and that's it. So this is where the issue is coming from. And then mid equals to int size 2, size divided by 2, and then peak equals to list of integers, the middle. My list is equals to list of integers, right? And then if peak is greater than my list, mid minus 1, and peak is greater than my list, mid plus 1, then it should return peak. I think this is very perfect. Else, if peak is less than my list at mid minus 1, you should return find peak my list mid, else return find peak my list. I think this is perfect, and this is what I did in my stuff that worked. So I don't know, maybe I will just put the code on the description because this thing is taking our time. If I find the solution to it, I'll put it on the description so you can check it out, and that should work. Okay, so I'll see you in the next one. So if you don't see it, just ask me in the comment section, just remind me, I'll post it there. All right.